Emmachev Radio presents
the best radio 24/7.
You are listening to Emmachev Radio.
All the latest news and breaking headlines, live from your local radio station. This is On the Hour News.
Tragic news out of Egypt today, where a tourist submarine sank near Hurghada.
Yeah, a real terrible situation.
6 Russian tourists lost their lives, and dozens more were rescued.
They were on a short trip in one of those submarines that lets you see the underwater world without getting wet.
It's just awful.
The Sinbad submarine, that's what it was called, went down in waters near a Marriott resort.
Emergency crews managed to save a lot of people, thankfully, but sadly, not everyone.
And this isn't the first time there's been trouble in that area either.
There have been other incidents involving tourists on the Red Sea coast.
Really makes you think.
On a lighter note, let's move on to sports.
Pep Guardiola, Manchester City's coach, is saying some interesting things.
Oh yeah, what's he up to now? He's basically saying that if City wins the Club World Cup, no one deserves a bonus.
Not him, not the players, not the staff.
He thinks their season has been that disappointing.
Wow, that's a pretty harsh self-assessment.
I mean, they're still in the FA Cup, but they're miles behind Liverpool in the league and out of the Champions League.
I guess he's got a point.
Switching gears to tech news, apparently there are some big protests brewing against Elon Musk.
Really? What's that about? It's being called a global day of action by a group called Tesla Takedown.
They're planning hundreds of protests at Tesla showrooms all over the world this Saturday.
Hundreds? That's a lot.
What are they protesting? They say they're against what Musk is doing with the U.S. government, layoffs, budget cuts, the whole 9 yards.
They're even accusing him of giving fascist salutes.
Seems like a pretty serious accusation.
It does.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Are you ready to unlock the full potential of transportation and logistics in your business? In today's fast-paced world, transportation and logistics are the backbone of any successful business. But managing a fleet of vehicles can be complex and challenging. That's where Rockeye comes in. Introducing Rockeye's comprehensive transport management solution. Rockeye's innovative platform simplifies every aspect of your operations, from order processing and route optimization to fleet maintenance and expense management. Rockeye is more than just software. It's a partner in your success. Don't let transportation challenges hold you back. Embrace the future of logistics with Rockeye. Rockeye. Driving success, leaving the rest. For more information, send an email to rockeye@emmachev.com.
Hello children, welcome to Storytime in Africa. My name is Evelyn Achira, and I'll be sharing with you stories about our African continent, and I hope you will enjoy it. So let us travel all the way to Congo. In Congo, there was famine. There was no food at all. And the food that people used to eat were not there. They had no potatoes, they had no bananas, they had no maize, there were no vegetables. It was a dry land. Even the grass had dried. It was a total famine. So from there, from the village, one man from one family decided to move out of that country and go and look for the wealth of the family. So he left behind a mother with 2 children. This mother survived with nothing. There was totally nothing to feed. There was nothing to give unto her children. So they were so confused because the man traveled and left them behind. And in John's family also, they had nothing to eat. So they were just desperate and praying for food. So this mom decided to take his children to the river. She decided to kill the children and kill herself because that was the only solution that they had left with. So she went to the river and drowned the young girl. She asked them, I want to drown you. I want us to die because there is no hope for tomorrow. these people had no knowledge for God. So the mother decided to drown the young girl. So the young girl accepted and said, Mommy, if that is the only solution for me, I'd rather die than suffer with this hunger. But the boy by the name Felix said, no, I don't want to die, I want to live. So the mother drowned the young girl, and later she drowned herself. So Felix remained and just wondered what to do. Remember, the father had traveled far away to go and look for the other family. The mother had drowned herself and she has killed the young girl. So Felix started walking inside the desert, looking for and searching for food. So as he was walking by, he saw John on the other side fetching water to take to his mommy. Then John asked him, "Hey, young boy, what's your name?" Then the young boy, Felix, answered, "My name is Felix. What are you doing here?" The young boy was in tears. We are so hungry. My mommy has killed herself and has killed my young sister, and my daddy traveled to a far country. So I'm all alone. I don't know what to do. Then, because John was so merciful, he offered to take Felix to their home. When he arrived at home, the father was so furious because he asked John, there is famine. We don't have food. Who is this visitor? And then John was like, Daddy, this son is my brother because he has a problem. He needs to be assisted. The mother has drowned herself and the young girl, and the father went far away to look for food. So he's so desperate and he said he doesn't want to die. So I've brought him here so that we can offer him something. Then the dad asked him, you know very well we don't have food. Where are we going to get an extra meal for him? Then John was so sad. So when it came to mealtime, they went to a room where it was totally dark. So father to John served him a meal, just a plate for John. And then Felix was not served a meal. So while they were eating, John was taking something from his plate and directing backwards where Felix was seated. Imagine the dad to John did not serve Felix. What a heart. But John shared whatever little he had to Felix. Because Felix was so humbled, he was so calm, he never complained. So one day, it's like Father to John was so ashamed because of Felix's behavior, because he was so humbled. So one day, he called Felix and told him, I can see you're a good boy. So I want you today to go to the field with John. And then when you come back, we are going to serve you a meal. Hey, Felix was so happy. So they went together with John. They took care of the kettle. And then when evening came, they brought back the kettle. And then Felix was served with food. Now, they started treating Felix as they are one of their child. John was so happy because he was so merciful and he used to pray for his family. And then later on, there was rain and then there was now food. So Felix moved from his place and went to another country. And then later on, the father to Felix came back and he found that the family was not there. But he went to look for Felix and he traced him and he found him. So after 15 years, John became a pastor. So he was preaching and he was sent to some place somewhere to go and spread the gospel. So when he was preaching there, his teachings were good. People loved his teachings, but others hated his teachings because others never knew about God and John was preaching about God. So those people who never knew about God, they hated John and they planned on how they can kill him and chase him from their country. So one day, there were some people who planned to go and to steal John's cows. So when they planned, John realized that two of his cows were missing. So, and then when he went to the market, he identified the cows. And then he went to the chief and organized and called people to come and help him get back his cows. So when he went with the chief and other people, he found a crowd of thieves and they wanted to kill John. So they were like, kill this person. This is a foreigner. He's disturbing us. He's saying that these are his cows, and yet these are not his cows. We want to kill him. He needs to go back to his country. And then John looked straight to the thieves, and he identified Felix. Felix, funny enough, he was the leader of the thieves. And then John asked him, are you Felix? Then Felix was, yes, I am Felix. How did you know me? How did you come to discover my name? Then John explained to him, do you remember that time when you came and explained to us that your mom had drowned herself and the young girl, and your daddy had gone to look for the wealth of the family? I took you to our place, and we shared a meal with you. Do you remember? Then Felix said, wow, are you John? And then he commanded the other people not to kill John. He said, no, if you want to kill this man, kill me, because this man saved me, because I was to die, but he saved me. So Felix stood beside John, and these people were very furious. And then that is how John was shown mercy. So because John was merciful to Felix at that particular time, he was a friend indeed. Felix was a friend in need, and John stood him as a friend indeed. So he showed mercy to Felix, and in return, when these people were planning to kill John, Felix stood and assisted John, and he was not killed. The same measure that was given to Felix is the same measure that was given to John. What does that story tell us? It tells us that we as human beings, whatever measure, any kind of treatment you offer to someone is the same measurement that will be measured to you. So we need to be very, very careful. So from that day, Felix stopped stealing. What he did, he changed his life completely. He started confessing his sins. He started going house to house, confessing what he had stolen. In one house, he could say, I stole your blanket. Here are more blankets. Please, may I know my punishment? In another house, he could go, I stole your goats. Here are more goats. Please, may I know my punishment? He took a long time confessing and going from house to house, confessing his sins and requesting to be punished. Later on, Felix was converted and he knew God. He was baptized. He became a good man. It is teaching us that when you're merciful and you help God's people, one day, one time, you touch a soul. You touch a soul. So the moral of the story is, let us be merciful to others. Let us learn to help many people, because at the end of the day, God will reward us. Thank you for listening to my story. I'll come next time with more stories. Bye-bye.
Go with me down. Go with me down. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A Mercedes kind of sentiment, luxury, and trust in me to honor the free we all should be in. Sees my sundial burst into yin and yang, right and left, me and you. I'll build it with no driver or a screw. See, I did undo all that I knew, and you know this and you know that. Please consider you are more than what you think you lack. I feel the sorrow and all the pain, trying to create tomorrow, be happy for this day. I'm getting obsessed and feeling a mess. Then I thank God as remind me I'm blessed. See, we're all afraid. It is human, forgetting what you're made of, thinking that you're losing. Hit the snoozing, headache from the boozing. Know it's you who's choosing and refusing the responsibility. It's hard to accept, you see, but we are in control. It's your world, you chose your role. It's hard, it takes its toll. Oh, that ego won't let go. Something screaming in your soul, right there in between your pole. It's your game and not your goal. I love your diamond and your coal. We create our own reality. Everything in the world's a reflection of the me. Use your energy.